Hi, my name's Zephyr Wildman. I just finished recording the practice I taught this week, and it's available on zephyryoga.com if you'd like to join me. And in our practice of yoga, to experience the state of yoga, that oneness, wholeness, completeness, abiding in that profound stillness, that we are a part of it, it is a part of us, that equanimity of mind, heart, body. We need to learn how to abide in the present moment. According to the Yoga Sutras, only now yoga can begin. So that experience of now in the present moment. So for us to be present in the moment, two things need to occur. We need to have an intention to be present, and we need to consistently turn our attention back to the present moment. This is a way of training our body, our breath, and our mind to experience the state of yoga. So it's likened to training a mind puppy, a body, breath, mind puppy, because a puppy, is curious about life. It goes and wanders into the future, wanders into the past, is distracted about the little dust bunnies around the room, all of a sudden wants to fantasize about being in the park again, playing with his buddies. And so in a very loving, nurturing way, according to the Yoga Sutras 133, cultivating non-judgmental awareness, friendliness, joy, and compassion in practice. In that way, we have a relationship to the body, breath, and mind puppy to sit and stay, sit and stay, sit and stay. This is really pointing us towards taking ownership and accountability for ourselves of what is preventing us from being present. So I ask you, what is between you and being present right now? What thoughts are going on? Look at your thoughts. Zephyr's selling me witchcraft again. What are your feelings that are preventing you from being here? Where are you feeling it? The sensation. Are these sensations, emotions, and thoughts really rajasic in that kind of fiery, overactive, stimulated, obsessive, compulsive? Or are they very tamasic in that dark, heavy, dull, depressive quality? So addressing these two attributes that influence the sensations, our emotions, and our thoughts is quite interesting, because what we're trying to do is practice to create more balance, to bring that rajasic more into a sattvic state, the tamasic in more of a sattvic state where we feel balanced, harmonized, this kind of equanimity, where we can experience that profound stillness and that wakefulness of abiding in this present moment. So this really calls to the heart of the method of practicing yoga. According to the Yoga Sutras, it's Kriya Yoga. So tapas, svadhyaya, and ishvara pranadhana. Tapas is practices that create heat for positive change. Physical heat, moving your body. Energetic heat, pranayama practices to build that pranic alchemy and burn that vital energy even brighter. And mental heat of concentration. So we're training the physical, energetic, and mental to create this heat, to loosen up and open up, warm up our stuff so thoughts, emotions, sensations can be revealed. The next part is svadhyaya, to self-study, to understand ourselves, to understand the reality of life, our own humanity, understand our shadow side, understand our attributes, and how to navigate this world with more skill in loving awareness. So that ability to reflect and take ownership of thought, feeling, sensation, and understand what tools to use to best serve us as we move forward in life. And then ishvara pranadhana is that trusting in the process of life, that surrendering to the Godhead of your understanding, but that letting go and entrusting in the process that you're going to be okay, even if you think, feel, and experience that you're not going to be okay. You will be okay. And it's to consistently practice. It's like dancing, that cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we practice in that way of creating heat for positive change, of working with building our resource of vital energy and that light to awaken to this moment, and then surrendering to. To simplify it, what we're going to be doing is really reinforcing 3 terms in practices: Abhyasa, Vairagya, and Viveka. So Abhyasa in Sutra 114 to 115 is practices that create this disciplined effort to stabilize. Stability is the notion of the state of yoga, Nirodha. And what we're trying to do, that sthira or sthiti is stability, is cultivate more stability in body, breath, and mind to open to this moment. So it's Kaya Nirodha is that physical stillness. So reducing any unnecessary effort, feeling that integrity and that presence of the here and now. Prana Nirodha is that energetic breath stillness in which we smooth out the speed bumps in the breath and we create an even flow in which we can effortlessly abide in that energetic quality of prana. And then Chitta Vritti Nirodha, one of the famous sutras, is that stilling the roaming tendencies of the mind. So we're trying to train our body, our energy body, our breath, and our mind puppy to sit and stay in the experience of our practice of yoga. Now, this takes time to mature and deepen in our experienced wisdom, to have this as a real authentic trait, to be stable in ourselves as life, our thoughts, our emotions, our sensations, but also as life is like a storm around us, that we are like the eye of the storm, that whatever is going on, we have this profound stability, stillness, and integrity in which we can then respond to life rather than getting involved in the storm and reacting to it and causing more of a shitstorm. And so we practice on our mat to try out these tools so we can go out in our real life and see if these tools are effective. So our practices should be sustainable to consistently perform. We're challenging ourselves and pushing up against the kind of edge of our experience to provoke us, to trigger us, to make us react. And then that becomes interesting of like, ooh, why did I react so much? And then you look at your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings and going, interesting. What was the practice? Breathe in and exhale. Okay. So that sense that if we're doing practices that create more imbalance, like coming up to the edge and jumping off, that we're creating more harm and more dis-ease and more suffering, we're just going to create more instability in our lives. So making sure that you're choosing practices that actually support this experience of stability. Now, Vairagya is from Sutra 115. It's sensory observation that we let go of. This detachment with love from whatever surfaces in our practice. So as we practice, you'll notice the mind puppy starting to create some thoughts, the energetic puppy starting to have some feelings and opening up to certain sensations that we're revealing. And whatever comes up, we inhale, give it some breathing room, because this is information we need to understand ourselves a little bit more. So as we inhale, welcome it in as an opportunity to practice. And then as we exhale, according to Sutra 134, to focus on breath awareness, but specifically the exhale pattern and the pause after exhale pattern, that letting go and letting be, the art of surrendering, the practice of letting go and letting be. So as we inhale, lean into whatever thought, feeling, sensation is present. And then that exhale is that letting go and letting be, which inspires the next inhale to lean into this moment. And then we let go into this one and let be into this one. So it's that practice of moment by moment awareness, detaching with love from whatever is surfacing, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and using the word interesting as a, pop culture kind of like, positive psychology kind of thing of kind of detaching from it. And it works. Going, interesting. I'm not going to get tethered by you. I'm going to just let you be and let you wash through me. So this practice of working with a loving way in which we let go and let be opens us to new space and opportunities to perceive what is arising as an opportunity to practice, but try out certain tools to see if they work. And then that way we feel the fullness of life without getting stuck in old habits called vasanas, these habitual tendencies that we tend to recycle over and over again. As we normally, if we have a thought, we normally identify with that in a habitual way, or we have an emotion, we react to that emotion in a habitual way, and that we free ourselves from the mental emotional afflictions that get tethered into those thoughts, emotions, and sensations. So, when we practice, we might not even be aware that we're having certain thoughts and feelings that are preventing us from being in the present moment. That's that experience of avidya, ignorance. And as we start to go, oh my gosh, I'm having some thoughts and feelings, we start to then experience asmita, our egotism, of thinking more or less of who we are by relating to these thoughts and feelings. I'm so arrogant. I'm the worst person in the room because I'm having these thoughts and feelings, and this is how I'm being defined by my life. Or I'm the best one. And all of a sudden there's this kind of attachment to this smallness of self being defined by what you do, what you have, what you think, what you feel, and your experiences. But when we practice, all of a sudden these thoughts and feelings come up and we go, oh, I don't want to feel that. So we go into craving more pleasurable things because we don't want to feel what or think what we're exposed to. So we go off and try to find more pleasurable things, like thinking about what we're going to eat after class, and or thinking about shopping, or texting while we're practicing, or doing anything that is more pleasurable than having these thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Or we go into devesha, where we're pushing away. We're like, I don't ever want to think that or address those feelings. I don't want to ever, and so we have this aversion, this rejection, this kind of avoidance, devesha. And it really leads us to really unraveling a abhinivesha, which is, who am I without these thoughts, feelings, situations, these attachments to stories that I tell myself? Who am I when I'm not trying to be somebody? And that scares us. Losing who we think we are. It's like the death of a person and an idea or a concept of how we define ourselves in the world. So when these thoughts come up, it's like, who am I without thinking about this thought and relating it to me? Or who am I when I don't have this feeling or this sensation? So it's an interesting one in which we have to face. And as we face it, moment by moment awareness, working with the breath and our practice, we have a greater opportunity to lovingly embrace our own humanity, to learn how to self-regulate, and to build that resilience that we desire to be able to go out in our lives to do our lives well. So in our physical practice, we're going to work dynamically in and out of poses and then hold poses. So that will build that physical heat that we desire. Energetically, pranically, we're going to use a pranayama practice of progressively getting the exhale longer. Inhale for 4, exhale 5, 6, 7, 8. In that way in which we inhale this moment and feel that vitality, that coolness, that being able to refresh our experience in this moment. But as we progressively lengthen our exhale, we start to see that it's heating, but also creating more time in which we recognize maybe stuff that needs to come up and that we need to let go. So we'll practice over and over again as we wake up to this moment and whatever is present. We exhale, lean in, and let go. And then at the end, that little transition, a moment of letting be into the next inhale. So energetically, we're creating that heat. And mentally, what we're going to be doing is in Sutra 137, it suggests as a solution to whatever we're facing to contemplate a stable mind. And to do that, we do mantra practice, but our mantra practice is counting. And so we inhale for 4, exhale 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, noticing when we do this, the mind kicks off. It's a very disobedient mind puppy. And it will go, this is so boring. Don't want to count. She's telling me witchcraft. And all of a sudden, there's this keen discernment called Viveka that comes in and goes, why don't you want to have a look at counting? What are you scared of? Well, it's boring. Why are you bored? Well, it's not exciting. Isn't that raga? Well, I don't want to do it. Taisha, what are you scared of? Well, and so all of a sudden, you start to have this conversation with yourself. So Viveka is keen discernment. It's wise judgment. It's our wakefulness, our awarefulness, to be able to see into the reality of all things. This experience of knowledge has no doubt. It's a spontaneous way in which we discern we need to do this. And it's the higher wisdom body that is that kind of more virtuous voice that keeps us disciplined in going, you're wandering again, come back to practice. And this, it's kind of likened, as it was taught to me, like a bird. The eyes of the bird is Viveka, that keen discernment, spotting, and it is so sharp. One wing of the bird is Abhyasa, the other wing is Vairagya. And both wings need to fly at the same time. If one's flapping really fast and the other one's not, we're going to go around in circles and we're not going to fly very effectively. So our practice of yoga, of detaching lovingly from whatever arises, needs to happen at the same time to be effective. So our practice this week is one of turning our attention back to the present moment again and again. And as we build this heat and understand what is going on, that practice of surrendering to this moment opens us up to maybe experience what they describe in the teachings as the state of yoga. So I hope you come and join me in practice. And play, be open, be curious, trying to minimize unhelpful and automatic ways we respond to our thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and build more resilience by using simple techniques that yogis have been doing. And hopefully you'll find that you'll have that resilience to be able to move through whatever you need to go through this week and beyond. So join me. I need to actually go and teach a live class. If you're interested in joining me in live classes, in on-demand classes, links are above on my website, zephyryoga.com, and you can find me at Kriya Yoga and the Life Center. So hope to see you in class. If not, practice with you in on-demand classes. So thank you very much for being open and willing to be guided by me. I thank you.